Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes. Hope you're doing well on this Saturday, the 5th of April, 8:45, and that can only mean one thing, can't it? FPL Talk Part 44, and we have game week 31 coming up, definitely 31. So, what happened? Well, we had midweek fixtures, didn't we? We had midweek fixtures. I might have caught some of you guys out. Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday, should I say, fixtures. And without further ado, I will get you guys seeing what I can see. Exciting times, people. Very exciting times. Let's prep this up, shall we? Get it looking good so you guys can see the wonderful world of fantasy. And here you go. This is what I can see. Of course, it is, as always. I will share my screen. There we go. So, midweek fixtures, Tuesday, the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. We had some games, and it wasn't massively foolish when you think about the scores and the results from that game. Week first day, Arsenal beating Fulham 2-1. All I can say is, Muniz, I officially hate you. There you go. Arsenal, though they were a bit towards the end of the game and Fulham pushed a little bit, they got a goal. Arsenal technically were 2-0 winners until they let in that silly 90th plus minute goal from Muniz. 2-1 the final score. The big news in that game, Bukayo Saka's return. Oh yes, back with a bang from his injury. Scored the goal, scored technically what was deemed to be the winner in that game if we win by 2-1. I'm happy as well because I had Nwaneri in my team. I held him even though he had been a bit up and down in terms of minutes in the past few game weeks. He got an assist in that game for Muniz goal, and he also played really well and played more than the 60 minutes. So happy with Nwaneri's contribution. It was his last contribution, I will say this openly, for me, but otherwise really good performance. Muniz getting the goal and Sessegnon with the assist for Fulham. Saka, Marino with the goals, and Martinelli and Nwaneri with the assists for Arsenal. 3 bonus points for Marino. Doing well as a makeshift forward. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have him as a forward, though. I'd play someone like Martinelli up front and then have Saka and Trossard on the wings, but each to their own. In terms of the assists, Martinelli, Nwaneri, Marino got 3 bonus points. Saka got 2 back now. Is he going to start this game week? We will see game week 31. We will see exactly what happens with Arsenal's team lineup and Timber getting the other assist. Now, bad news though for defence side of things. Gabriel has been ruled out for the season. Really bad news there. Not only because I'm a massive Arsenal fan, but also for Arsenal's chance of really Champions League getting through against Real Madrid. It's going to be difficult enough as it is with Gabriel. The team now is out for the season. Other news. Is it a minor? Is it a major injury for Jurriën Timber as well? Because he was injured early in the game, carried on, didn't he? And then was brought off a bit earlier than expected. He got a bonus point because he was the only Arsenal defender to get a clean sheet. So 1 bonus point for Timber. And I was also looking at bringing him in on a wild card as well. But the next game, Wolves versus West Ham, 1-0. I was a bit surprised by this scoreline. I thought that it would end up being a draw of some kind. Don't forget that Wolves are without Matthias Cunha. Who's suspended, isn't he, really? But Strand Larsen doing really well. I did mention him, and I've mentioned him for a few game weeks now. He goes under the radar a little bit, but he gets points, doesn't he? He is a focal point. Good goal against West Ham. Turn and strike, really good finish. Deserved the 3 bonus points in that game. 1-0 victory for Wolves. Bonus points went to Strand Larsen, got 3, Nuri got 2, and Doherty got the 2 as well. Surprised by West Ham, but hey-ho. The final game of Tuesday's fixtures, the 1st of April, was Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United, with Man United being, as they are, an unsurprising result in this game. Elanga come back to haunt Manchester United as well, getting the goal. Yates with an assist. The 1-0 win against Man United, should I say, at the City ground. Bonus points went 3 to Elanga, 3 to Murillo, and 1 to Sells, the goalkeeper. Then we hit the Wednesday fixtures, didn't we? Bournemouth against Ipswich. Very surprised by the result in this game. I thought it would at least be a win for Bournemouth. 2-1 the other way around. I thought the score would probably be a flip. In the end, Ipswich winning 2-1. Fantastic for McKenna's team. Really good for Delap as well, who played and scored the winner. Bournemouth-wise, Even Nielsen with a goal, Cook with the assist. I was looking at Even Nielsen maybe as a wildcard forward option. Broadhead getting the goal for Ipswich, and Delap getting the goal as mentioned. Cisco getting the assist, and Townsend getting the assist as well. Bonus points went 3 to Delap, 2 to Ivan Nilsson, and 1 to Cook in a 2-1 win for Ipswich away from home. Aston Villa Brighton, another minutely surprising result. I thought this might end up with a scrape win or a draw of some kind. Brighton really falling apart a bit there at home at the Amex. Rashford getting his goal, 1 for Marlon, 1 for Asensio goal-wise, and 2 assists for Rodgers and an assist for Asensio. Really good performance from him, but he only played 20-odd minutes of the game. Bonus points went 3 to Asensio, 2 to Powell, and 1 to Rodgers. Doing really, really well. Then we had the City-Leicester game, 2-0 Manchester City win. That's fair. Everyone's beating Leicester, unfortunately. Grealish getting a goal, shocking. Mamouche getting his goal as well. Got up Price deservedly. So Savinho getting an assist in that game. Nothing for Leicester. Bonus points went 3 Savinho. Surprised, but I thought Mamouche would get 3. He did as well, and Grealish got 1. Thought maybe a defender might get a bonus point in that one, but he didn't. Newcastle beating Brentford 2-1. Goal from Isak and Tonali's. Was it a freak goal, accidental goal? It still counts. Barnes getting an assist and Jacob Murphy getting an assist as well. The usual combination of Mbeumo and Risa, resulting in Mbeumo scoring and getting his pen, and that was a bonus point for Mbeumo, 3 for Tonali and 2 for Alexander Isak. Then we had the Southampton Crystal Palace game. Again, shocker this one a bit compared to the Ipswich and Bournemouth game as well. They got a result. Southampton, they got a point. Bonucci getting the goal with a Fernandes assist, whereas França got the goal and a Lerma assist. Bonus points went 2 to Lerma, 3 to Fernandes, and 1 to Bonucci. And then we hit the final game, the Merseyside derby at Anfield, and Salah was not involved. That's a shock of that game, really. A 1-0 win against Everton. Terrible tackle by Tarkowski. Mentioned quite a bit this week. Really bad on McAllister. Got away with that. Didn't get a red. So you people who own Tarkowski, you are lucky buddies. Diego Jota getting the goal and Luis Diaz getting the assist. Bonus points went 3 to Diaz, 2 to Virgil, and 1 to Robinson in a 1-0 win against Everton. How Beto didn't score, by the way, I don't know as well, but I have Kanate and I'm a happy buddy. And I also captained Salah as well, you see, so I'm quite happy with the 3 points rather than 2. Chelsea versus Spurs, the final game of game week 30 on Thursday the other day, and it was Enzo goal and Cole Palmer got an assist. He also got a yellow card, which annoyed me a little bit, but technically points on the board for Palmer. He's been dropping like a stone, hasn't he, for the past few game weeks, down, and suddenly gets a return, and I'm hoping that is an uprise in his performances and points for FPL. Fingers crossed, because I have retained him. The bonus points went 3 to Enzo, 2 to Gusto, and a bonus point to Palmer, making up for the yellow card that he got. Nothing for Spurs. So, how did you guys do this game week, or the game week gone, game week 30? The answer is I hit 64. Happy with that. Very happy indeed. 44 being the average, so I beat the average by 20 points. Very happy with that indeed. Raya getting me 2 against Fulham. Annoyed that Arsenal conceded, but they've got bigger problems. Kanate getting a clean sheet. Very happy against Everton. Williams getting a clean sheet against Man United. Not happy about the fact that he got 5. Booking Colwell getting 6. Clean sheet against Spurs. Very good. Palmer getting 6. An assist, I say, rather, against Spurs. Salah getting 6. Not particularly happy, but 3 I'll take against Everton as the captain. And Mbeumo doing well with 8. Nwaneri doing well with 6. Bergveld, I brought in. He got me 2 because he played over 60 minutes. Mamouche doing really well against Leicester, getting a goal and some bonus points, and Isak the same, bonus points, and he did well also. So ended up with 64. How did you guys do in game week 30? Let me know in the comments. On the bench wise, I had Fabianski didn't play, Wood, who was injured, Mikolenko got 2, and Greaves didn't start. So game week 30 made me go, what to do? I did threaten to change things around on wildcard, and you'll be pleased to know that I have done exactly that. This team has been semi-ripped up for this one, which you are about to see. Bang! Here we go. The transfers are in. The wildcard is played, and I said I would, and I followed through. In goal, as it stands a second, is retaining Raya and Areola, because he is the cheapest starting backward keeper. And West Ham have been a bit up and down, but they did keep a couple of clean sheets not too long ago. I've done that in order to fit in the rest of the players. So, as it stands now, Kanate keeps his place, as does Nico Williams in the team, as does Palmer, Salah, Isak, and Marmoush. The rest of the team has been chopped, thrown. Everything is with the next few game weeks in mind. So Lewis is a bit up in the air. Probably won't keep him. I'm going to keep an eye on Aston Villa. Aston Villa have a double in the next few game weeks, so there is a transfer there potentially now. I don't have any pennies left, so therefore I am banking on and hoping that Powell starts playing more for Villa. He's come back from injury. He started last game week. I know Mings is there to threaten the idea of that, but if Powell gets a couple of games under his belt, so he had one last game week, if he has one this game week, then I might look to bring in Powell Torres for Aston Villa. I will also keep an eye on Lewis because you never know with Manchester City. Problem with those guys is they're going to chop and change. Lewis's game time has been really poor in the past few game weeks. He had a minute, I think it was the last game week, and then prior to that, 90, then a couple of minutes, then nothing. So it's a bit up in the air with Guardiola's team selection. The only good news about Manchester City, if you can call it good news, is that their team is decimated with injuries. Stones, Ake, all those guys are all out until after the double game week. So, it might be that Lewis does get more game time. So I will be monitoring Lewis, but more importantly, I'll be looking at Aston Villa. I do have 4.3 to work with, so it's very minimal. So very much an idea of keeping in mind that. So Burn has come straight and he has a double game week coming up, which makes sense, doesn't it, really, to bring him in. Nico Williams I've kept because I want Forest coverage and they've been really, really good. And more importantly, they might have a double game week if they carry on in the FA Cup. Lacroix. Now, why have I played him? The reason I've picked him is because Richards is injured at the moment. Chris Richards, I did want Richards. It looks like he's not back till next week. It is too much of a risk to consider bringing in Richards for that, especially as the double game week starts at that point. So Lacroix has come in. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Popular pick as well, being cheap, 4.5, and the Crystal Palace defender. Gahey's gone. Munoz has gone. Miles, Henderson is a goalkeeper. I don't want to mess about with Raya in goal. So, tricky one, really. So Lacroix is very much a mainstay in the Crystal Palace team. Honestly, it's injured. The big news is Nwaneri went out. I planned it a few game weeks. I told you guys I was going to bring in the man, and I have, and I'm elated I have, because Bukayo Saka has joined my 11 again. He was in my team every single game week until his injury earlier in the season. He is, like I say, early in the season, many game weeks back, it feels like, since Bukayo Saka played for Arsenal. He is straight in. He did well, and he's gone up in price as well. I know in that time that I brought him in, up double price increase, and he has changed to 10.4 now, so 10.3 selling wise. I'm keeping Palmer. I think he did well last game week. He looked very active after his injury, played really well in the game against Spurs. So yes, Palmer is in the team, although to be honest, Spurs let him play well. Mo Salah is a mainstay, definitely remains in the team. Jacob Murphy, as it stands right this second, is in the team as well. Did well, got an assist. I had Jacob Murphy in my team prior to the Carabao Cup final as well in that blank game week. So yes, Jacob Murphy back in quite happily. He did quite well for me. He did all right. He was getting the occasional points. So yes, cheap player at 5 mil. The big news on top of that is a double Crystal Palace change attacking wise. Ismaila Sarr has come into the team, doing really well, getting lots of good points recently as well. For Crystal Palace, almost like a focal point alongside Mateta. So him, Eze, and Mateta are the 3 attacking guys. So Ismaila Sarr, nice and easy, bringing into the team. Mateta is in. I kicked out Wood. Probably should have kicked him out the week before, but kicked him out now anyway. Brought in Mateta, and he will start. Double game week coming up, makes sense. Up front, retaining Isak and Marmoush, because Marmoush and Isak are both on form. Let's be honest, they're doing really, really well. So that is the team as it stands. I don't know if I'll change it. I might kick out Lewis. I might bring in Pau Torres, and then think about bringing Lewis back into the team. I know it's a risk, but I'm looking at a small budget, really. 4.3 is all I have after playing all of those players. So it might be just before the deadline I kick out Lewis and bring in Pau Torres, Villa's defender, for the double game week. I know that Villa's double game week isn't the greatest, but you get what you give, really, don't you, really, in this sense. So game week coming up, game week 31, Everton have Arsenal, going to be a good game. That is at Goodison Park. That's a 12:30 kickoff today. In terms of result, I can see that being a scrape win for Arsenal, maybe a 2-1, perhaps even a draw. Everton-wise, I can see one of the defenders scoring. I can see Takaski annoying me because he shouldn't be he should be suspended, in my opinion. But I can see him potentially getting a goal from a set piece. Arsenal-wise, Saka is the man to watch, isn't he, really? I think he'll do well. Goal and assist today in an Arsenal 2-1 win. Crystal Palace versus Brighton. I can see Crystal Palace winning that game. I obviously have Crystal Palace players in my team, so I'm hoping they get a clean sheet. Ismail Assar and Mateta might be nice, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get FPL screwed a little bit, and I think Eze is going to go off in this game rather than the two players that I've got. Brighton-wise, I think if they're going to get any chance of doing well, it'd be Welbeck and maybe Mitoma, possibly a bit of João Pedro. I know a lot of people have got him in their team. But I can see Crystal Palace maybe scraping a win 1-0, 2-1, 2-0 potentially in that game. Ipswich versus Wolves. What a game this is now after Ipswich's win and Wolves' win. But I can see Wolves winning it. I really can. A scrape 1-0. Strand Larsen is the man to watch. If Ipswich are going to do anything, it is going to be Delap. Maybe a draw, otherwise a 1-0 win to Wolves in this game. West Ham, Bournemouth, another good game as well. Both teams coming off the back of a loss. West Ham are at home, Bournemouth are away. Is Kluivert still out? I think he is, as far as I'm aware, but I think Bournemouth can still score if Nielsen's a man to watch. Semenyo as well. I can see West Ham winning this, possibly a 2-1, maybe a 1-1 draw in this game. West Ham's goal probably coming from Bowen or Kudus, as always, maybe Soucek. Aston Villa versus Forest, what a game that is at Villa Park. That's a 5:30 kickoff today. Aston Villa Forest, that's a tricky game to call, really. I can see a draw in that game. I can see Villa getting a goal. I can see Nottingham Forest getting a goal, possibly a 1-1. Maybe a 2-2 in that game as well. Is Wood back? If he is, that'll make a big difference for Nottingham Forest. Aston Villa-wise, Rashford's the man to watch, really, isn't he? He's on form and on fire. Asensio, is he going to get more than 20-odd minutes? That's the question. Maybe Morgan Rogers as well. Those three guys are danger men, aren't they? So I think those three will be involved in possibly 1 to 2 goals for Villa. Forest-wise, Elanga. I do like Elanga on that wing. I saw Hudson-Odoi on the other wing as well. Really good. If Wood plays, I can see a 2-2 or a 1-1 draw in that game. It's a question of how solid Nico Williams, Milenkovic, Murillo, and I don't think Ainet's around, but those guys can be in cells in goal. Then we have Sunday's game, Brentford versus Chelsea. It's going to be a good game because Brentford are doing okay, but not winning at the moment. They're getting goals, so I can see a goal for Brentford, probably in Buemo Wisa, obviously. Chelsea-wise, fingers crossed, Cole Palmer. That's the answer to that. Simple. The result, tricky one, really. Perhaps a 1-1, maybe a 2-1 squeeze to Chelsea because they've got the tails up after winning against Spurs. Enzo Fernandez, a man to keep an eye on as well. Nicholas Jackson looked really good as well, didn't he? I thought he looked menacing in the game against Spurs. So perhaps a 2-1 win, maybe a 1-1 draw in that game. Fulham, Liverpool, simply put, Liverpool win. I'm hoping Salah starts scoring again. Come on, Salah. Don't leave me hanging here. A goal for Salah would be lovely. Clean sheet as well for Konate. I've got my team as well. Possibly a 1-2-0 win for Liverpool in that game. Spurs versus Southampton. Spurs win. I can see them getting back to winning ways. I think Southampton might score, though, annoyingly. So no clean sheet for Spurs. Goals-wise, tricky one for Spurs, isn't it, really? Maybe a 1-0 win, maybe a 2-1 win if they're lucky. Maddison, I think, might do something in this game. Perhaps a Solanke goal as well. Southampton-wise, Dibbling didn't play, did he? He was on the bench. So maybe Anucci, if he carries on his form. Then we got a Manchester derby, the pick of the game week at Old Trafford. United versus City. United coming off the back of a loss. City coming off the back of a win against Leicester, albeit. I can see a draw. Simply put, I know it's a Manchester derby. I can see a bit of a boring 1-1 draw in this game. Maybe a 2-1 win to City if they're really lucky. Goal-wise, come on, Mamouche. Let's keep it going. Let's keep that form flying. Definitely all eyes on Omar Mamouche in that game. Manchester United-wise, if anything's going to happen, it's going to come from Bruno Fernandes, isn't it, really? So those two guys are the pick of the players. And then we have the final game to finish the game week off, Leicester versus Newcastle at the Foxes ground. So, Newcastle win. I don't know why I pretended then to think it was a difficult game. A simply put Newcastle win. A clean sheet, fingers crossed as well, because I have burnt Isak and Murphy across the board. Murphy would be lovely if you can get an assist in this game, and Isak a goal as well. I'm very tempted to switch over my captaincy, but technically Liverpool are away and it is Fulham, albeit it could be a potentially tricky game, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Newcastle away to Leicester. So there you go, guys. I've shown you and I've explained the fixtures, what's going on, and my plans. So if we flick over really, really quickly to my purpose behind a lot of my wild cards, simply put, and a lot of people have done it, to be fair, it is with the next few game weeks in mind. Game week 32, we have a lot going on. We have double game weeks for Newcastle, and we have a double game week for Crystal Palace. Let's have a trickiest fixture against City, but I think they might be able to hold their own against So that's City at the Etihad. And then we have a double game week from Newcastle, who have Manchester United at home. Again, I think they might be able to hold their own and get a clean sheet in that one. So slim clean sheet or clean sheet-ish chances for Crystal Palace and Newcastle in the first game of that game. And then they take on each other on Wednesday. And that could be a tricky game in terms of getting clean sheets from because, well, let's put it this way. Mateta's a decent forward, isn't he, for Crystal Palace? And Isak is a very good forward for Newcastle. Burnley's a good defender for Newcastle. And as is Lacroix on the rest of the defence for Crystal Palace. Then we have Murphy versus Ismail Assar as the alternative. Can they do something? You know, the irony is, even though you've probably got defence from both teams, you hope that they attack and get the goals, don't you really? You hope that Ismail Assar is going to do well. You hope that Mateta's going to do well. You hope that Isak's going to do well. And you also hope that Murphy's going to do well from my perspective as well. So in a weird way, I'm hoping the clean sheets, though it's more odd to say this, come from the first games that both these teams have got. So Newcastle versus United, I'm hoping that's a clean sheet. And also the Man City versus Crystal Palace, a clean sheet, because when they lock horns on the 16th on the Wednesday, I'm hoping that Newcastle and Crystal Palace get mad and get loads and loads of goals. It's going to end up in a 0-0 now, isn't it? So there you go. And then we flick on to game week 33, don't we, after that? Game week 33, we have a double game week as well for City, Arsenal, Villa and Crystal Palace. You can see my team is sort of reflective of that. The only player I don't have this second is a Aston Villa player for that game week. That might change. Tricky to say how, because quite frankly, I've got everything squeezed and I don't want to get Saka. I don't want to go to Palmer, although Palmer will be the man to probably kick out if I'm going to kick out anyone for that double game week. Maybe Palmer out and a Aston Villa asset in, I don't know, someone like Rashford going forwards, and then that'll give me the opportunity to bring in a decent player from Villa in defence. Villa's fixtures, their double game week fixtures is Newcastle and Manchester City. Arsenal's one is Crystal Palace and Ipswich, so maybe more Arsenal inclined. But do we need any more Arsenal players, really? Raya and Saka should do the job for me, shouldn't they, really? You would assume. So Villa are the team, as you can see, and Man City that I'm looking at. It might well be that I increase Lewis, decrease Palmer, change Palmer to Rashford, and maybe go Lewis to one of the better Manchester City players. We will see. I'll keep an eye on Palmer because I do want to bring him back at some point. So yes, don't forget the double fixture coming up there. So my intentions for the next few game weeks, as it stands, we have had, by the way, we have had double fixtures announced. I mentioned it on X. The double fixture being that game week there, which is 33. Man City, Aston Villa, Arsenal, Crystal Palace is the add-on fixture to game week 33. So the plan is to bench boost either the game week coming up next, or now I'm thinking about it, maybe a 33 bench boost to bring in the rest of the players and get the maximum from that. Probably bench boost 33 as it stands this second. Then if we flick over to 34, I lose quite a few big time players. In terms of City are out. Not that I have many City, but Mamouche would go. And a few of the players, the Arsenal team have gone, haven't they, on game week 34. So the likelihood is I will free hit on that game week. And then we flick over to game week 36, where I believe there might be more double game week fixtures, and that would be probably the best time to do a triple captain. So that's my plan to bench boost either next week, probably not, or game week 33. More than likely this game week I'll do a bench boost, free hit the game week 34, and then triple captain 36 because I do have that left. The only key thing now is to consider maybe kicking out Palmer, even though he had a really good game week, going Aston Villa this game week, and Manchester City top heavy. So that is the potential plan. Let me know what you guys think. We'll have a quick look before we finish off at what's going on in terms of the price changes. There has been a few, so keep an eye on it, guys. Saka's gone up to 10.4. Saliba's gone up to 6.4. Marino's gone up to 6.1. Mateta's gone up to 7.7. Munoz has gone up to 5.2. Konate's gone up, there you go, to 5.2. Burner's gone up to 4.5. Murphy, my man's gone up to 5.1. And Elanga's gone up to 5.5. Down goes Gabriel because of his big injury to 6.3. Dango's gone down to 4.9. Raul's gone down to 5.4. Wink's gone down to 4.3, missing from training, and kicked out Team Mazraoui, 4.2. And Aina is now 5.3. So there you go. Keep an eye on that. The predictions for this evening are as follows. Let's quickly change this. What is going to happen tonight? Well, the answer to that is Mbuemo is going to go down, Clover is going to go down, potentially Gibbs White's going to go down, Kovacic is going to go down, Howard Bellis is going to go down, Iwobi Anderson from Fulham's going to go down. Stewart, Southampton, Bollock Ketchup's going to go down. Apparently, Zich, Yarmouk, Robinson, Minter, Vandenberg, Trossard's potentially going to go down. Surprised by Trossard. Justin's going to go down. Ramsdale, Virginia, Stevens, Okoli, Hudson-Odoi, and Alexander Arnold. Trent is going to go down. Up goes Rogers potentially tonight. We'll keep an eye on him. Milinkovic is potentially going up. Strand Larsen's done really well as well. Rashford's potentially going up, so I'll keep an eye on him. Ismail Assar, Livramento's going up. Asensio's potentially going up. Raya's potentially going up tonight as well. And Marmouche. So keep an eye on that, guys. There's lots going on in the fantasy world at the moment. My intentions, as I said, very clear there, or very, I say clear, as clear as I can give you without things changing, injuries affecting the team. This game week, you can see the wild card has been played. There's maybe one or two transfers I might change before the 11 o'clock deadline. Don't forget, it is an 11 o'clock today deadline for game week 31. Otherwise, wild card has been played. Tick. Then we've got bench boost 32 or 33. Potential tick. Free hit 34, looking very likely because the blank fixtures already. Tick. Triple captain, likely 36. We'll keep an eye on this, but we'll see what's going to happen. Let me know, guys, what you got first and foremost, game week 30, points-wise. Let me know what your intentions are, if you've got the chips left and what chips you've got left to play. Be interesting to have a chat and bounce back ideas in terms of what you are doing. Are you hitting the template team going forwards and the same players? It is what it is. It's all about points right now and getting the maximum out of your chips, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Let me know what your intentions are for the next few game weeks. Are you bench boosting on what certain game week? Are you free hitting if you've got it? Triple captaining if you've got your wild card left? Are you waiting a bit longer towards the end of the season to make those changes? Maximise captains going forwards. So I'll be interested to see you're going to captain with double game weeks coming up, especially next game week, not this one, the one after. We've got double game week for Newcastle. We've got double game week for Crystal Palace. You're thinking Matete, you're thinking Sai, you're thinking Isak, Eze if you've got him in your team as well. Barnes maybe as well if you've got him in your side. Anthony Gordon if he's back from suspension, not sure if he is. But yes, let me know what you guys are planning and your intentions. Let me know what you think of my team. Don't forget, it is subject to change. Palmer, I've already been looking at, though he did really well. I want to keep him. Truth is, I'm thinking, the double fixtures coming up, and Aston Villa and Man City especially are on my radar. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching. I'll flip back to the main screen so you can see my wonderful self. There you go. I'm back. Yes, 5th of April. It wasn't April Fool's Day today, but happy April Fool's Day gone. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Hope you have a good rest of the Saturday as well. This is part 44. It's all about my points from game week 30 and my intentions going forwards for game week 31, 32, 33, all the way to the end of the season. Leave me your comments. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, comment, do all the usual wonderful things on my YouTube channel, which is AJ Hardy 85. I'm obviously on X, AJ1985p. I'm on Facebook as well, AJ85 channel. That's right. And I'm on Twitch, which is another place where I'm live streaming from, which A_J_P_8_8_5. Let your friends, family, and strangers know that I'm doing FPL talk every Saturday, 8:45. Now, the next few game weeks, really quickly before we finish, the next few weeks, I might not be doing live sessions. Instead, I'll be loading videos of the recordings, probably the day before, probably on sort of Friday evening, and then upload my sort of plans, etc., and what's going to happen for the next few game weeks and my points. So keep an eye on that. There will still be videos loaded if I don't do live sessions every Saturday. I'll be uploading the Saturday videos. So otherwise, ladies and gents, hope you have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. I will see you wonderful people next week in some form. But otherwise, take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of it. Hope you're enjoying your wildcard. If you're doing it, hope you're not getting too stressed. You still have an hour and 45 minutes left to get that sorted. But otherwise, take it easy. I've been AJ. This has been FPL Talk, part 44. I will see you guys next week in some form. Take care of yourselves.